You want to build a mechanized army against us? You want to put all the new appliances with bugs in them? You want to jack our food and water? Listen here, you little chicken neck maggots. You want to wake some people up? You just woke us up, punks. Scum. Let me tell you, as soon as all the minions of the system figure out why their kid's dying and why their wife's sick, we win. All we got to do is tell the truth, folks, we win. All we got to do. And I'm at the tip of the spear because I'm just dumb enough to do it. But you know what? It's like that Beatles song, The Fool on the Hill. He's not a fool at all. He sees the world spinning around. He sees it all happening. I'm no fool at all. I know there's no future if we don't beat these people, ladies and gentlemen. The world says I'm a fool. But my heart and my gut says I'm not a fool. I'm taking the only course out of this. There's no way to run. I'd run if I could. There's nowhere to hide. So all I'm going to do is fight. And in that lies the victory. So support us. Spread the word, buy the books, the videos, the products, support the sponsors, spread the word about our local AM and FM affiliates, support their local sponsors. If you're a local business, sponsor this show. I mean, that is something big you can do in the fight against tyranny. I can't tell you, so many stations pick up the Sunday show, get huge ratings, sponsorship support. They put it on at night, then they put it on live. It's happening everywhere. Because people used to think this guy's crazy. Now they're like, wow, everything he talked about is coming true. Folks, he didn't because I'm that smart. It's because I was willing to face the facts. The globalists write books about this. 100 years ago, this is a plan they've had. And there is no choice but to beat them. All right, we're going to get to your calls. There is so much news here. Senate cybersecurity bill mirrors Russian intelligence agenda. Yeah, Russia's getting rid of all their freedom. It's the same thing everywhere. Governments all act the same. It's like the Iranian leadership's not good. Neither is our leadership. See, it's not Iran good, we're bad, or America good, they're bad. No, no, no. It's the founding fathers said 99% of the time you get a really bad government. And sometimes you get a mass killing one. In fact, about half the time. And you're like, why? Because that's what they like to do, folks. Listen, you know people that just like to screw everything up, people that want to dominate everything. And those types have learned they end up messing with the wrong person and getting their butt handed to them. So what they do is they get into government and they get a story of how they're the hero and how you're the bad guy. And they get all these minions around them. And they strut around in fancy suits and build big, giant buildings to make you feel small and land in Air Force Ones and have all the Secret Service taking themselves seriously and all the SWAT teams in the movies. You know, it's a class system of, oh, you're in the government, or, oh, you're in the elite, or, oh, it's so special. Oh, it's so great. You're not going to find fulfillment there, folks. I was on Mancow's show this morning, and he was telling me, I'm not dropping names or bragging here, but he said, yeah, I had Willie Nelson on a few weeks ago, and he was saying, you're the biggest star in Austin. And I said, well, because they were asking, hey, you know Alex Jones? Yeah, he's the biggest star in Austin. And I said, well, number one, Mancow, I'm not a star. Okay, this isn't about Alex Jones is a star. If Alex Jones was a star, Alex Jones would have 50 bodyguards out there at Bohemian Grove, or I'd have bodyguards out there at Bilderberg. Instead, I'm just right there. And that is a symbol of the fact that I am a common person. And in that lies my power. In that lies your power. In that is the sign that I am not going to give in to fear. I'm here, I'm stepping up, I'm stepping out. And any way I win as long as I don't give in to evil. You understand that? This is about your destiny as a human on this planet, what you do now. And I was just plugging something there, you know, support the broadcast, what we're doing, but, you know, getting off in an overall preaching rant. The other day off air, one of our guests was like, Alex, you're preaching before I came on. You don't have to do that. The facts are on your side. And I said, listen, buddy, this isn't some calculated thing. This is what comes out of me. And I said, you can't argue with success, can you? And he said, I guess you're right. I'll just say who said it. It was Dr. Paul Craig Roberts. He was saying it in there. You know, I was like, how you doing? Because they said he was shaking his head going, man, he's preaching. When they had him on Skype before I went to him, went out to the break and go, yeah, I know I'm preaching. He goes, well, Alex, I understand, you know, you got all the proof. That's all you need. And I said, listen, you do it in your authoritative manner, very professional. That's why we have you on. I can't help what I do. You understand? So I told him, I said, this is real, buddy. I'm bouncing off the walls during the breaks. This is who I am. I mean, I know we've got a government putting poison in our water and bragging they do it to brain damages and give little kids cancer. Millions of them have died from it. Harvard has come out and admitted it. Everybody's like, oh, Harvard said it, it must be true. Folks, listen, that makes me real angry, okay? If I saw, I mean, I'm nobody special. If I was at the shopping mall and saw some guy run up and like they do start stabbing people, it wouldn't even be a courage thing. I would immediately go over there and take the knife away from him and I'll tell you what I'd do. I'd probably stomp him to death because in that rage, I wouldn't be able to control myself. And people are like, oh, either you're a big mouth guy or you're a crazy man. No, I'm not. I'm not a crazy man. I know what I'll do because I've seen things like that happen. I've had people mug me. I've seen people attack other people. I've seen somebody attack somebody on a street corner, and I've pulled over and stomped the living daylights out of them. Because, ladies and gentlemen, that's a normal response when we're under attack is to get angry. Every mammal out there, when it's under attack, either tries to run, and if you can't run, it gets up and fights. And we just need to find our humanity again. That's all we've got to find. And no amount of drones or surveillance or any of it's going to stop us. Once we know we've been drugged, once we know we're under attack, our body can then gear up and deal with it, and our brain can work with it. But we've got to first admit we're under attack. We've got to first admit that we're under assault. And people out there that serve this system have first got to admit, even if some of you are evil, you're not going to win serving what you're serving. Because you may think you're evil, you don't know what evil is. Evil is every human on this planet dead. Evil is the end of humanity. Evil is the end of our future. Evil is the end of history. That's what the globalists want. I'm ranting. Joining us is Richard Reeves here, radio talk show host, all-around technology expert here that helps us when we're out on the road and things. And he sort of texted me last night going, we did it. We beat Dewhurst, the CIA, worked with Klaus Barbie, proud of that. Klaus Barbie, folks, the top Nazi down in South America. All of this stuff. I've been around a lot of people, and I'm physically not recoil out of fear. He is scary. David Dewhurst up close looks like one of the scariest people I've ever been around. He looks like a vampire. I mean, he's ready for central casting for a vampire. And I've bullhorned him. I've been in his face. I mean, he is Creepville. Creepville. Super evil. And he's the guy that killed the TSA deal and then tried to act like he didn't. Big globalist, not his own businessman, given contracts by the CIA and government for his energy company. Total front. And Mr. Cruz beat him yesterday. And he even got up there and gave a winning speech, a victory speech, thinking, I guess, the black boxes would kick in. And the message is, and I heard this even on local radio, they were covering polls yesterday on 590, all the callers and the polls show it was TSA. Unanimous legislature in the House says no more groping, we're going to enforce existing laws. He killed it. And I said we get rid of the Speaker of the House as well, all of them. And so that's a message, and it's happening all over the country. All these Republicans go on Fox News and say ban all Semianos. It's because they're all scared. They love this Republican-Democrat game of acting like they're fighting with each other. It's over, okay? I got to say, the Tea Party is actually delivering in many levels. Richard Reeves, you're here with us. Tell us, because you followed this very, very closely. They've rejected the carbon tax garbage, transportation tax in Georgia and Atlanta that was to raise tens of billions to take over everybody's life and smart growth them. I mean, there's just $19 billion just got cut. A lot of exciting things are happening all over the country. The senator, Republican trash and Democratic trash are being thrown out, whether it's Specter or Lugar. I mean, that's why they're scared right now and showing everybody what they are, pieces of trash.
There's nothing I like to see better than incumbents being fired, establishment candidates not being elected. Alex, this is an incremental victory, albeit an incremental victory, but let's think about the methodology of the New World Order. One of their number one tools to get this country where they've gotten us over the last 100+ years is incrementalism. And here we do have to celebrate this incremental victory against the New World Order.
Yeah, because Cruz at least sounds like Alex Jones. You've been to his speeches.
I've been to two.
We will defeat the CFR Vipers.
I've been to two Ted Cruz speeches. We had one at the Capitol 2 or 3 months ago. We went down there and reported on it when Rand Paul and Ron Paul spoke there. And then I was at the Texas State Convention, folks. I was a Republican delegate out of my precinct, out of my senatorial district, and I went to the Texas State Convention back in early June. And I got to tell you, a lot of the Tea Party folks are 80, 90% awake. And then there's the Republican Party right now is made up of three factions. You've got the old establishment GOP faction. You've got the Tea Party faction that still wants to blow up stuff. And then you've got the Patriots faction. So there's a three-way faction going on there. So right now, at least, we may not be able to deliver a majority vote to be able to win on certain races with a full-blown Patriot candidate, but we definitely have the proof now that we are at least big enough and bad enough to be a swing vote in this situation. And here are the results right here with Cruz, 57% roughly, and David Dewhurst, 43%. And it was like you said earlier, the Ted Cruz probably ended up winning with a 30% margin because the word is out that David Dewhurst is did exactly what you said about this anti-TSA legislation that we had in 2011, that you spearheaded that, folks. Our
listeners did, and Rick Perry got destroyed for his Gardasil thing, lying and saying girls had to take a deadly vaccine that killed a bunch of them.
Well, plus Rick Perry was behind the scenes in killing that anti-TSA legislation. A lot of the new listeners are not going to know exactly what happened there in the Texas State Legislature in 2011, back in May 2011, June 2011. Alex and the listeners here locally in Austin and in Texas and nationwide.
We stormed the Capitol twice.
By the
way, we didn't ask permission. We stormed the Capitol.
Right. We stormed the Capitol. I'm sure you can find YouTubes on the YouTube videos of that. Alex Jones storms Capitol with the crowd that went down there. We went down there, stormed the Capitol. We had a unanimous House of the state of Texas ready to vote for a true...
Yeah, hey, libertarians, stop asking for permits.
Right. I mean...
Okay, we own this country. It's ours. You're disgraceful, all you locals that get permits.
Well, I tell you, I think less of them are going to be doing. I think we're just going to be doing more of what we did with storming the Capitol. Folks, we went down there. We had a unanimous Texas State House ready to pass a true anti-TSA legislative...
They passed it unanimously.
Right. And then the Senate... I think there was only two.
And then Turdhurst killed it.
Dewhurst and Perry both combined to work against that legislation. And I'll tell you, one thing that happened at the Texas State Convention is Ted Cruz got out there and sounded almost like Alex Jones. So at the very least, there are some questionable associations in Ted Cruz's background. No question about it.
Yeah, the wife was CFR.
We're going to have to see what happens there. But I'll tell you what, he's out there actually waking people up and educating people when he's talking. So he might...
No, I got to say this. More and more, I think some of the strategies of Campaign for Liberty and Rand Paul, because I just got mad early on, but I actually think in a way, I'm starting to see these races, it looks like we're taking over. Well, I think it might be actually what they said. I never say I'm that smart.
Well, here's what I would say about David Dewhurst is if he got into the U.S. Senate from Texas, he at each and every opportunity would choose death to the Constitution.
Let me tell you something. I told you this at the Capitol. I've been around him before. That guy is scary. I mean, let me tell you, I got chills when he'd look in my eyes.
Well, he showed his true colors on the TSA issue, and the Texans knew about it. They were not fooled.
Well, I'm just telling you, my gut, very few people, like, Danger Will Robinson, when that guy looks at you, that guy's super evil. Hi, this is Alex Jones. We are back live, ladies and gentlemen. Richard Reeves is in studio with us. The next little segment, I'm going to go to Noel, Scott, and others. Keiser's coming on, so folks that are holding get to talk to Keiser. Talking about economic collapse by design, banker occupation. By the way, we had hundreds and hundreds of entries in phase 2 of the Obama dictator contest. It made local news. People did airplane banner pulls. And it took us... the last month since the contest closed, arguing and debating and just to watch hundreds of videos.